Moms, have you been reading a children's book to your kid recently and been like, this feels AI generated? Like the rhymes, they aren't quite rhyming, the story's kind of there, and the pictures just are made from a computer. It inspired me. I said, you know what? If AI can write and publish books, so can I. I set out on a journey and I have now just published my third and I'm about to publish my fourth children's book that I wrote, illustrated, self-published, and I'm actually making money doing it, and it's all from home. I'm going to tell you exactly how. First step is just idea generation. What do we want our book to be about? And I would just keep a notes app on your phone and jot down when your kids say something funny or do something funny, or you kind of see something through their eyes and it's going to spark an idea for a book. Now we need to write it out, and I would just follow in the exact same style of some of your favorite kids' books. Maybe that's rhyming, maybe that's more of storytelling, maybe it's short sentences, long sentences, whatever it may be. Just kind of go in that style that you like. And then once you have your words, we're gonna make the artwork that goes along with the words. And don't be thrown off here if you are not an artist, if you are not trained, neither am I. It is okay. If you look through your kids' stack of books, there's every single type of artwork. There's some that are very childlike, very sketchy. There's some that are very intricate and detailed and technical, and everything in between. So just go with kind of what you feel comfortable with, and there's probably a market there for it. I do have some major tips though for when you create your artwork that I wish that I knew would have saved me so much time in editing. Decide exactly how you want your in-book to appear and do your artwork in those same dimensions, or at least the same proportions of your final dimensions. So for example, if you want a book that's going to be 8 by 8 and you want the pictures to span both pages, I would do your artwork on paper that is 16 by 8 because that's going to be the dimensions of your in picture. If you want the picture to just be one page and then the other page be blank with words, then do your artwork on an 8 by 8. Make sure that the publishing platform that you're wanting to use allows those dimensions, because there's different dimensions that are allowed for paperback versus hardcover versus different lengths of number of pages. Amazon KDP is different in what they allow versus Barnes & Noble Press versus IngramSpark. So just do a little bit of research and pick a dimension that is allowed on your publishing platform of preference and do your artwork in those dimensions. Decide where you want your words to go. If you're doing the 16 by 8 image and you are going to put the words on top of the image, make sure to leave a section that's maybe a little bit lighter or open or something of that nature, to where you can easily put in the words and you're not later like, oh my gosh, there's nowhere for the words to go. What's gonna fall in the gutter? And that is when you open your book, this is the gutter. It's when you open your book, there's a little bit of the image that gets lost in the middle. So if you're doing a face on the 16 by 8 option, let's just say, and the face is right in the middle, it's gonna look a little funky, so you're gonna lose some of the middle of my face. So I would offset the face and then make the focus of the image a little bit off center so that the gutter isn't as much of an issue. One other consideration around the edges of your image, there is a small amount that can be cut off depending on printing and just variations within each print. So I would not put something critical to the image right at the edge. I would go and extend the image a little bit farther. For example, if I want a girl looking over a fence, I want this to be the bottom of the page, I would go ahead and draw to here. So that way, if this gets cut off, we still have the eyes, versus drawing to here exactly how you want it to appear. Because then if this gets cut off, we're out of luck. All right, so now we have our artwork. We need to digitize it. This is simple. I just have a basic printer with a scanner. I scan my images, they come to my computer. As long as I can like 2 to 3x zoom in and it's not super pixelated and it still looks fine, we're good to go. Now it's digitized. Hopefully edits needed are pretty minimal because of all of the prep we did before actually doing the artwork, but you may wanna brighten it up, change the dimensions a little bit, enlarge a part of the image, remove the background. There might be little things you wanna do, or there might be nothing at all. I just use Paint. It's very basic, but that's what I like. So I use Paint and I do all types of different edits within Paint. There's lots of other platforms too though that you can use. Once the images are how you want them to appear in your book, then we're going to use that template I suggest from Amazon KDP, and we're going to import our JPEGs into Amazon KDP, format the book exactly how we want, and save it as a PDF. Now we're going to take our PDF and we're going to upload it onto the platforms that you would like to publish within. So Amazon KDP, IngramSpark, Barnes & Noble Press, those are some major ones. And all of these platforms are going to want an interior file, which is going to be everything within the inside of the book in one PDF file. And then they're going to want a separate cover file. And Amazon KDP also offers templates for your cover file as well. This will definitely take more of the photo editing skills to create. So to create the cover file, get that template from Amazon KDP, and then it'll show you exactly what's gonna be on the front cover versus the back cover. It'll show you what area not to put important data into, like words and important portions of pictures, because it may be cut off around the edges. It'll show you where the barcode is going to go on the book, so you need to not put anything important there because it would be covered up. Anyways, once you have that template, I open it up in Paint, but you can use other platforms, and then I'll pull either an image that kind of encompasses the theme of the book, and I will use that as my cover, or I will sometimes pull elements from different pages and combine them to be my cover. Regardless, you pick your image for the cover, put that in the correct portion of the template, and then you pick a name for your book. And then I've handwritten out the name of the book and digitize it and put that on top of the image. I've also used kind of open source fonts to create names for books. And so you'll kind of format the front exactly how you want, put your name on there as the author and illustrator. And then on the back cover, you'll want to put your description of the book. You will want to put, if you're using like an imprint, or maybe you've created your own imprint, you can put that information. And then you'll need to leave the space for the barcode that's indicated in the template. Once you have your cover file exactly how you want, then you can go ahead and save that as a PDF and upload the cover file into the publishing platform. Really, from there, it's simple. You just put in the information that it asks for, the description, the age range it's good for. You can choose categories that you feel your book most falls within, keywords that you want as your search criteria, and then you publish. And congratulations, now you're a published author. And it's really up to you how you want to market the book, but whatever you do, it's up. You're a published author. You can order copies for your family, and trust me, there is nothing better than your kids requesting to hear mama's books. It's so fun, it is so special, and they see themselves in your books because 9 times out of 10, they were the inspiration.